Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of Business Talks with Saakshi. And today we have with us Miss Rachna, who is an NLP practitioner. She runs her own personal brand, her own company, and that's why we are going to talk with her today as to how NLP can help entrepreneurs to grow, how they can have a different mindset of working with different kind of people when they're just at the starting stage of the business. So we'll talk more with Miss Rachna in a few minutes. Stay on till the end of this video. Hi Rachna, welcome to today's episode of Business Talks with Saakshi.
Thank you, Saakshi. Thank you, Saakshi, for having me here. It's a great work that you're doing that I've come across, and it's awesome to see that you are covering the journey of solo people who created their own brands. So, yep, I would say kudos to you and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Rachna. Thank you so much. And moving ahead, so we would definitely love to know about your journey as to how you moved as an entrepreneur and how you started journey as a solo entrepreneur.
Okay, so I have made my fair shares of mistakes before I began into a space of entrepreneurship at all. Absolutely. Okay. I have had failed businesses. I have made wrong decisions. I have fallen many number of times to be who I am today. So this is absolutely a space where every entrepreneur, every person must consider that they are going to fall and they are going to be able to come back. But important is how do you come back and the choices and the decisions that you make in the process. So this is how it began. A little, okay, so I think I should start from the point, what made me get into entrepreneurship and what made me start businesses and working together. A little about my background today. I am an NLP practitioner. I'm a life coach with ICF, and I am also a psychologist. So that's the area that I work with people. I'm helping people in professions, and I'm also helping women in their business startups, putting their ideas and business ideas together and validate them and help them take it further. So this is what is my core area. But what happened and why did I actually get into it? It's a whole lot of a journey that I created in last 7 years. Before that, I was a homemaker. I was a regular homemaker. I would take care of kids. I would take care of my house. I was take care of the entire people in my family. It was a joint family. So I was taking care of the joint family and I was pretty happy and doing good there. But at that point and that space, I was good enough as a wife, as a daughter, as a mother. I was also good enough as a daughter-in-law, but I was not good enough as me, because I was known by somebody's daughter, I was known by somebody's wife, I was known as somebody's so-and-so's mother, and it hit me at some point of time, बस मेरी क्या identity है? So ये जो एक this is kind of a very big middle life crisis that everybody hits somewhere or the other, that what is going to happen. And it only dawned when my children were also a little big, because I got married very early. I had my children very early. So the entire beginning years of the careers where our career and the biology clock were ticking together, I chose my biology clock and made a life out of that. And career clock is still ticking. And I think, let's see what we make out of it, I would say. But yeah.
Somewhere it connects to a lot of women in India where we tend to leave one portion of our life to start with the other sometimes. And sometimes we just it's a personal choice, definitely. No one forces someone to do it. But sometimes we value things more on the family side rather than on the career side. And then later, we realize that we must do something. We must not be stagnant. So that was your story, and it's really going to be inspiring for many people in the coming days, because I know you're doing some great work and you have been practicing NLP, the neuro-linguistic programming that we say, and that you have been practicing since quite a long time now. So I would like to know how long you have been practicing and what are the changes that you have seen?
Okay. So I have been practicing NLP for 6 years now. 6 years. I practice, I take it, and I take it as a lifestyle habit that is just with me. Okay. I went into NLP thinking that it is going to be another psychotherapeutic technique that I'm going to learn to apply it on my patients. But the ball game was absolutely very different. It made me meet me and made me make my choices better and decisions better to be able to be the person that I want to be today. So that's how NLP is for me. It's about, so if you look at the word, it says neuro-linguistic programming, right? And what is neuro? It's the neurons, it's the sensory inputs that you get from your surroundings and your people and the talk that you do. What is linguistic? It's the language that it comes to. And programming. So whatever is communicated to you, it gets stored or feeded inside your brain, okay? In forms of past experiences, knowledge, information, ideas, whatever it is supposed to be, right? It gets stored that way. Now, the entire journey is about how you, in your territory of the world, in your map of the world, how you look at people, how they look at you, and what is the interpretation that you give to yourself about the world around you. So that, in short, is NLP for me, right? What did and how did NLP help me and now my clients for it? Because it helped me to understand that I'm trying to see things from others' lenses, and I am having some very bad kind of a sense of self-talk with my own self, which is always making me feel I am not good enough. I am not okay. I need changes. I need that. I need this. I need etc. And I will never measure up to be a successful person that I want to be. So that was my initial mindset that I'd come in with, because I had already failed 2 ventures and I thought that I will never be enough. So now what to do? So this is how NLP changed me. NLP changed me from, it helped me also to learn that if I want to work and follow the passion that I want, I need a stable ecosystem behind me. It helped me to understand the need of creating an ecosystem for myself. It helped me to understand it's not just about mindset, it's also about the actions that I create. It's about the choices that I create. But all of it starts with what I'm thinking. And it will not reflect into my behaviors, into my actions, until and unless what I think is matched with the actions that I take. So this is what and how NLP changed me, my life, and now it is helping me change my client's life.
Wow, that's amazing. So Rachna, like now as you said, like, you know, that NLP helped you change your mindset and it helped you become the better version of you that you wanted to become somewhere at some corner of, like, you know, of your heart and soul, where you wanted, like, you know, I should have my own identity. Those were your first sentences when you started talking about your venture. And now where the stage where you stand, where you're helping clients to change their mindset. So now I would like to shift the conversation to that side, like, you know, from your client's perspectives, or maybe since we are talking about entrepreneurs today, I basically be focusing on the word entrepreneurs, because I want you to clarify as to like how mindset or how our mind programming can actually help entrepreneurs grow in a better way. Because what happens is, like, you know, anytime we see challenges, there are n number of thoughts that come to our mind, that what will happen next, should I move ahead, like, you know, will this be a failure or a success? So then there are a lot of thoughts that are surrounding us, and somewhere, like, you know, we choose one particular thought that leads us to a particular direction. For example, like, I'll just take a very common example here, like, you know, as we were discussing before this call, where I told you that you know, we just lost a huge amount of our data last month, and we had to do, like, you know, certain things again. We had to redo the things again, and somewhere it delayed our project. So definitely when it happened, it was like you can say a bullet coming into the head and saying, shoot, you're gone. Okay. So that time, the thoughts are like, oh, I mean, when you are talking to so many people, when you are doing so many things, and when you are accountable for so many things happening around you as an entrepreneur, and suddenly you feel that your whole system is stuck just because of the technical failures or anything that happens in life. And then to come out of that thing, first of all, to absorb it and to come out of that thing takes time. Forget about the clients and your customers and your products or your services, forget about that. But for you as a person, it takes time. And the faster you come back, I think the better it becomes. So from you, I want to know, how entrepreneurs can use their mind programming to move or rebound from such situations faster, because it's very important. I hope you will also agree that it's very important for entrepreneurs to come back from any of the challenges very fast. That's what something I believe in. If you don't come back fast, you will not be able to take actions and nothing will change. वहीं बैठे रहोगे तो कुछ change नहीं होने वाला है. Everything will remain same. Although we understand that कि सब same ही रहेगा, but फिर भी we take our own sweet time thinking कि नहीं अभी तो ये सब चीजें हुई है, मैं कैसे manage करूँ, kind of stuff. So how can mindset programming help in that way?
Okay, so I will pick you up only here as an example because you've shared something so beautifully. Okay, so there was a part of the system which crashed, right? And it was beyond your control, right? It just happened. Now you had two choices: either let it go. Second choice was do it all over again. Third was do with how much you have. You made a choice of doing it all over again. Now, what made you take that choice? And if I have understood, because the topic or the conveyance or the message was so important to you that you wanted to do it right in that same format and probably take it to the more listening ears that you could. So I take it that was your sense of purpose that you had. So what kept you going? It is very simple. You felt that there is a need, there is a space. This is something which I think is going to change people's life. And you were behind that. And you were trying to make every possible ways to meet that. And for that mindset, you thought and you believe, because you said, I believe that the faster I come back, the better it is going to be. So it is your belief of perfection that you have in your life. That if I fall, it's okay. I'm going to fall, but I need to get up very quick. And I have to be like on the snap of a second and I have to think. So that's the space that you're working in. Okay, that's your environment that you're working in. So you know how to, okay, damage is done. Let's just put it behind and see how we can control it, how we can better it, right? So that is how you're working, and that is how it helps entrepreneurs to also work. You have to be somewhere prepared about the failures. You have to be prepared about the the setbacks. You have to be prepared about that somewhere some kind of a technology is going to go wrong, right? Today you might be just recording it again. Now you will save it in two places, right? Simple as that. कि एक बार मैं हार्ड ड्राइव में भी डाल लेती हूँ, मैं इसको ड्राइव में भी डाल देती हूँ, तो मेरे पास में अगर यहाँ से नहीं तो वहां से तो मिल ही जाएगा मुझे कहीं ना कहीं से. So you find ways of combating what has come to you in with two possible options if there is any available, and then you just move ahead. The entrepreneur is only smart and as an entrepreneur or even as a solo entrepreneur if he knows that he cannot tend to commit the same mistake twice. And he learns from that mistakes and moves off.
Wow, that's amazing, Rachna. I think because somewhere you had decoded the whole thing so easily. I think that makes us understand how deeply you're working in this field and how perfect you are, because we never discussed this thing before. This is just an impromptu thing that's happening, and we're talking about it. So thank you for such beautiful insights and talking about what makes you take actions as an entrepreneur and how you need to come back fast and take actions again. And as you said, like, don't repeat that same mistake, or don't tend to repeat that same mistake. At least be mindful of whatever like next you are planning to do, so that it helps you be better in the days to come. So I think that's a great insight for all the viewers also who are watching this video today, that whenever we are talking about our mind traits, keeping it calm is on another side. But whenever you have challenges, the first thing is to find solutions. Like, if you can't find solutions out of it, and if you're only talking about problems and problems and problems, those will start forming a web, and you yourself will be trapped in that. So don't form that web in your mind, and don't make it a complex thing. Already it's very complex biologically, so let's not make it more complex, and let's make our lives simple. So thank you, Rachna, for this. And I guess like now we can take the conversation to another part, where I would like to know like what you do and how you help your clients with the practice that you're doing.
Okay. So what I do, I'm a practicing psychologist and NLP practitioner with ICF coaching. So I work in the area of self-mastery. And when it is about self-mastery is nothing how you become a better version of yourself every time, and how you keep growing to an infinite set of possibilities by taking 3 C's into consideration. And what are these 3 C's? These are choices, challenges, and chances. Right? So what is choices? The decision that you make to take the chances that are going to come ahead. And the chances are the challenges that you face, and you're giving it a chance to face it for yourself. So that is what is your entire choice, chances, and challenges are about. And I just sometimes help people figure this out for them. That is it. And the next that I do is 4 P's area that I work with. It is their performance, their purpose, people's skills. So it is about how you become as a better person, how you perform with better understanding of people, who you are. It's about your productivity. It's about your performance. It's about your purpose. And then the persons whom you connect with, because people are a very integral part of your life. So these are the areas that I work with people and help them that they have. So I believe that you can have it all without letting go of one. So it's about having that wholesome life rather than having a midlife stuff jahan pe hum adjust and complement karke jiye. And the very example, I think I have made it available for me as a person who is having it all. I have a great relationship. I'm a great mother. I've had all of that. Now I'm moving towards having a great business. So that's it, I would say.
Wow. So as you were talking, Rachna, about building performances, like, helping people raise their performances. So I'll take you there again, and we'll go a little deep into that aspect, because when we talk about performance, I have seen people sometimes connecting performance to perfection. And when we connect performance to perfection, then in that case, what happens is like, over perfecting things also start delaying the work that we want to do as an entrepreneur. Like, we think of a project that, okay, this is something that that needs to be done this month for our company. See, suppose like we take it very simple, suppose like a marketing campaign that needs to be floated this month. And then suddenly it happens that, like, the team comes up with a plan which you don't like it, then the second time, then the third time. So you're just sitting there with the perfection, not even just trying it out in the market, not even trying to understand how things will react to the action that you are taking. What will be the reaction? What will be the reaction of the customers, your clients, the public there out there whom you want to reach out as a marketing, during your marketing campaign. So this whole thing, when it happens, it just delays the kind of work as an entrepreneur that you want to do, and definitely like then the performance come down. So because it's not only affecting your performance as a business owner, it is also affecting your team's performance. It's also affecting your business's performance. Like, how will your business perform better if you're not taking actions at the right time? So how like, your frame of mind, a person's frame of mind, can help us to come out of this problem of performing with perfection?
Okay. The performing with perfection itself is a limiting parameters in people's life. Okay. Why? Because what is perfect for you is not perfect for me. Okay. I might like my square 2x2, but you thought the square of 4x4 is much better. Though a square which is made is going to have all sides equal. But do you want a 2x2 or do I want a 4x4? Who's going to choose? Who's going to make that decision? Right? It's about, perfection is about, achieving the best possible solution in the best possible time with the best minimum and the minimum amount of the effort that you will put in. And that is how I define perfection. And if that is what you define perfection for yourself, it's okay. You can take ahead, it is not going to hinder your performance. But if at this point of time, you define perfection as something which has got maximum or probably lead in time and time goes away and you don't perform, then the perfection is of no use. Because what is needed is here and now. If you cannot meet the here and now need, that perfection is of no use. So that is what is perfection all about. And that it's a complete myth that something like being perfect exist. Even if you try and measure your own body parts, your fingers are going to be different. Even your eyes, which seem similar, and we think that God has actually given us a diabolical body, you will find there is a difference in the measurement as well. If you take a vernier caliper or anything that you want to measure your body with, you will find a fractions of difference in your own measure body part. So when God with his creation cannot create a human being to a perfect size of measured quantity, how can you do it?
Wow, I think that's lovely. And definitely, as you said, that when perfection can be only attained to a certain level, and it needs to be re-performed again and again to become perfect. Like, one thing cannot be perfect at the first very chance. This is something that even I talk about to a lot of solo entrepreneurs, especially like at a stage where we are ideating any business. Like, that time it just happens that everyone is looking for that unique idea, that perfect idea, and everyone wants to reach to that desire stage of business. Like, as soon as I shoot an idea, it should go viral. Today's world wants things to go viral. Like, just suddenly it shoots up and it reaches out to a lot of people. But in reality, it doesn't happen suddenly. There is a lot of back-end work that happens behind all of these things. There's a lot of research. There are a lot of other things that are happening alongside till the time you don't come to the field. Like, you will never know how alone you are or who's there with you. Like, that is also a very important aspect, that whenever we talk about building a business, so till the time you don't start executing it, you don't come to know ki aapke haath mein kya hai. Like, are your hands empty or are they full? The only moment when you come inside the field is something that you understand that where are you? Are you in a war zone? Or are you in a peaceful zone sitting alone? So all these things you understand only with practical situations in life. And there's also one more critical aspect. There is also one more critical aspect of all these things. Whenever we are connecting performance to perfection, we are talking about doing activities. And also you said, like, connecting to people. People is an important resource for any of the entrepreneur. Like, you should, as a entrepreneur, I feel you should be a good communicator. Because if you are not communicating what you want to communicate, what your brand wants to communicate with the customers, what you want to communicate to the customers, to the stakeholders, to the members of your team inside who are working with you, that's very important. So somewhere when sometimes it happens, like, that entrepreneurs enter with a frame of mind saying that I want something out of this person. Like, people go and network with people in thinking that I'll get something substantial in return. Sometimes people just hire employees thinking that they will get a certain performance or a very good performance from that particular person inside their company. But when things starts flowing in practicality, then we see a difference there. Like, whatever you had thought, or maybe, like, that's I would also say that it's not the right mindset always to approach people with a thought that always to take something from them. We should always look, that's what I believe, like, we should always look towards talking to people, or maybe like going to them with a give and take kind of a behavior, where like, you are learning, you are giving out what you know about, and you are absorbing what they are giving you. It's not necessary that whenever you meet someone, you will get something substantial for your business in monetary terms, or like in terms of work. It's not necessary at all. So how to break that frame of mindset where, like, people sometimes are just thinking that how I can extract something from this person.
So here are two things that you've brought into the conversation. Firstly, finding a right person for your business. Secondly, whether understanding the networking forum or the network of people you're creating is good for you or not. Okay. And when we talk about networking, it is about either I can be help to them or they can be help to me. Okay. So network is not about where I am going to get something definitely out of it. It's about creating connections, meeting people, exploring your, or expanding your horizons at the same point of time, and expanding your reach. Today, say if say suppose you go into a room where going to be 100 of people, you will not be able to meet all 100 of them, right? You will meet 10 substantial people there, and where you make sure that either you know about them, or you also get to know that there are so many other things which is there. So when you go to a networking forum, go with an intention of learning something, experiencing something, and expanding your sense of horizon with somebody. So that's the idea of networking. Now talking about right people. So what is the clarity that you need to know? Here, you need to know what is your business. What is it, the ask of your business? If it is ask for a person, then you should know what kind of a person are you looking for. If that is the idea, and if all these parameters match, then you will have a right fit for people coming into your business, helping you and helping you extract what you want. Else, it's going to be a journey, which is again going to be a trial and error. Ki ye nahi, wo nahi, wo nahi, wo nahi, wo nahi. So I think you should have to be very particular about what do you want to ask and what is an outcome that you want to achieve in the business.
Wow, that's amazing, Rachna. And somewhere like you said very right that, we need to understand what's the ask of our business, like what mindset are we going with, like, and what it comes back to us as. And also alternatively, as you said, like, networking is not just for going and selling, it's for connecting with people. So connections are very important. So you go with a frame of mind where you can connect with people. That's really a very good point. And like, as we say, wherever like there are big brands, or wherever there are big companies, there's a vision behind it. So today I would like to ask you, like, what's the vision for your brand in the future for the years to come?
So I think vision for my brand has really expanded, to be very honest. It is about letting people have the power of their chances, choices, and challenges. That's one. It's also about letting them explore, be the explorer, the seeker, and the guidance holder for people in that case. So you explore, you seek, you accept, imbibe, and then you also impart. So that's what I think towards Ignitehives solutions as as a company. For me personally, I want to reach out to maximum number of people, and specifically women in this phase, Saakshi, and I've been working very actively right now in Calcutta with loads and loads of women entrepreneurs to help them create their own vision sets and identities. Because sometimes when women take a break from their career, or they want to go back into a career, or they want to rebuild a career, or even build a career, they really somewhere feel very lost. I felt very lost. I tried about like 7 other businesses where I could actually find. And today also I keep trying, I keep looking for new things that is work. But it is very important to identify who you are and what you want in life. And as long as you're confirmed with who you are, what you want, and why you want, the job is done.
That's amazing, Rachna. because the type of clarity that you have tells us, like, that you are going to build something big. So definitely all the best for that from me and my team. And coming down to the last part of our conversation today, what advice would you give to the entrepreneurs of today?
So the advice to the entrepreneurs to today is, when you come up with an idea, don't just start building it. Research, because there is huge amount of data which is available. Research, see what is a value addition you are giving it to people. If you're starting another company which is already existing, I don't consider it as an entrepreneurship journey or a startup, to be very honest. I consider it as another journey. What is that uniqueness or that one point that people will come and buy for you is very, very important. So if you're able to solve that one problem with that one uniqueness, you have had your way, and you will never be in dearth of the clients or people or journey as a person altogether, and you will be easily be able to define who you are in that parameters. Saakshi, I would just like to add here in this way. Sometime back, in fact, my podcast is due on this. Is we are so concised with our own physical construct as male and female, or even as persons or entrepreneurs or doctors, in that we forget who we are as a person and what we want to reflect in us, reflect to people around us. So once that doesn't matches, your venture is also not going to match. So it is very, very important that you match it with the venture that you have and with the business that you're doing and the person who you are. So if I am not passionate about helping people, supporting people, I will take it as a job which will be done between 9 to 5, and I'll be happy to go back to bed. But it will not take my venture to a second level, third level, fourth level, or fifth level.
That's right, Rachna. So as you said, uniqueness is an element that we need to find out for our businesses. So thanks for that beautiful insight. And thank you for this short talk today. I just hope it's going to really, really make difference for a lot of viewers, and you're going to impact a lot of minds in the future. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you, Saakshi. Thank you. Thank you for having me again, I would say. And thank you for this lovely conversation.